But it's pretty ambiguous. It can be a BKB as well. There are a lot of nukes on the Sentinel. I wouldn't be surprised if it is BKB, but considering how well Nyx is farmed and tanky with his armlet turned on, I think it would be a Desolator. He can infest, pop out, and then just blink away. Nyx's little blink dagger is really scary, especially when the enemy supports haven't been able to farm up a Ghost Scepter at all, which I'm sure nobody on Sentinel has Ghost Scepter. Nope. Necroid doesn't even have Mechanism yet. It's really unfortunate for Rise. Rise is a good player, but he's just been beaten down by a superior lane. I think they might have had, if they had the Clockwork bottom and Rise middle, he might have fared better. He wouldn't be able to stop PGG from ganking, and the Clockwork probably would have died more, but Clockwork can handle deaths more than Necrolite, who really... Necrolite will get his farm, but he really needs way too much farm, and he's getting ganked right now by Enigma, a little out of position, didn't have sight, and now he's paying for it, and PGG manages to get the last hit. So Enigma Windrunner, and fucking Nyx. Nyx manages to get a kill. He's just sort of stuck there. He infests. Let's see if he infests Blinks. Nope. He just infests nukes and owns the Luna. Luna has so little HP. Miguel manages to miss a hook, but Nyx, being a retry player, just is like, fuck it, and blinks back in. And it looks like he wants to lifesteal a lot of damage. Oh, but Luna manages to eclipse him, considering there are no creeps. But Nyx has Aegis, and just respawns. Let's see how much gold he has now. 1,300. So Nyx is well on his way to, I hope, a Desolator, because Desolator's a really cool item, especially with the buff that it got recently. Now that it does minus armor to towers. I'm hoping we'll see it a little bit more, because especially to counteract the inclusion of Trent, who's probably the gayest hero ever, along with Wisp. Fucking nature-themed heroes are gay as hell. So we see Nyx blinking in, PG following him, and they manage to rape Angel. Shift Angel, formerly known as Raped by Angel, just got raped by PGG and McDep. So there's not really much Sentinel can do. I guess they're putting a lot of their hope into Necrolite, getting him as much free farm as possible. But Nyx is a pretty effective counter to Necrolite. He can, even if you don't kill him right off the bat, he can regain a lot of his life through Infest or through just a massive right-click feast damage that he'll be able to gain back through his feast. Redundancy is redundant. But I'll get better. Mirana fires an arrow out of her ass and manages to pick up a regen rune. Nyx is playing extremely aggressively, but he has backup support from the AA, and he's a fucking Nyx. He can just infest and blink out, rage, blink out, steal all the life, and looks like he was invisible, but he broke out. Meanwhile, Clockwork has a Vanguard in phase. Cinnamon doesn't have much of anything. Ianfish is having a heaping hose. Heaping helping of death. Fucking alliterations. What an arrow snipe! That was a spectacular arrow snipe by PGG. That was really impressive. If Marv Albert was commentating this game, he'd be a spectacular move by PGG. Meanwhile, AA manages to pick off Angel. Clockwork gets the A, but now Nyx comes back in and starts the rapage. And PGG and Nyx rape Necrolite. A short arrow. No, Earthshaker Synderen, what are you doing? Synderen manages to die to PGG, and it's looking really bad. really bad for Nevo. PGG calls for a save. He's gonna remember this victory for a while, because he's played brilliantly. He is 14-2-6. Nyx is 6-0-7. AA and Ancient Apparition are the only people on Scourge with negative kill death, and they haven't even been feeding. They've been contributing a lot in assists and ganks. AA's been warding like a boss. This ward right here is AA's. As Luna finished BKB, Luna is now finished BKB. It's looking really bad for Sentinel right now. Maybe there's a Mithro Hammer. Mithro Hammer on the circle, but this is looking really bad for Sentinel because even with the BKB, Scourge is just so tank now. PGG has a Mantis style. Enigma has an Ogre X. Windrunner is not able to fuck my life. Well, Miguel and Cinderin managed to pick off McDeath, which is pretty significant, but it might be a little too late. It'll buy him a little bit more time. Rise does have a mechanism, so I'm guessing Miguel hooked in, Earthshaker followed in with no Blink Dagger, so you've just followed in with Fissure. Maybe Nyx is low HP and being aggressive, because Nyx is a little bit like Templar Assassins and Ursas in that they can do a lot of damage and prevent themselves from dying and through the massive damage they deal or their skills. But it looks like Scourge doesn't really give a shit, and they might look to push without the Nyx. Yeah, there's a Windrunner top, but that's pretty much it. Meanwhile, Sentinels sort of, they don't really know what to do. They're sending the Luna top to farm against the Windrunner, which is probably the best call. But even then, let's see, not close to Mithro, not close, 500 gold away from BKB. A good Fissure by Cinderin catches them, and PGG instantly dies. So Nevo's starting to gank themselves back into this fight, although Miguel gets hit by a nice shackle shot. But the Ice Blast effects managed to wear off, and Miguel will be okay. Scourge getting a little bit too overconfident right now, but I think this is pretty much typical retry. They play extremely aggressive. They either win or lose by it, and right now they're winning, but it could, with a couple more failed ganks and a couple more failed team fights, I think Sentinel will be able to fight their way back into this game. Nyx is going Desolator, 2 Mithro Hammers. Desolator, an awesome item, extremely aggressive item, typical to retry style of play. Just farming away. Meanwhile, has Necrolite managed to pick up anything? Necrolite's saving up for, I have no idea. Maybe a Hex, maybe, I think a Force Staff might be good in this case, to push out of the Enigma Black Hole, or to push the person away from the Nyx as he rapes you, or just, I think a Force Staff would probably be better in this case. You really need to go for mid-game. You won't be able to have enough time to save for a Hex. I don't think a Vanguard would really help you, because the Nyx will just feast that HP right back. And looks like Scourge are going for the Juggler right now. They kind of sense that they've been failing a bit in the last couple team fights, but they look to try to make it up here. So let's see what happened. A throws down Ice Blast, manages to hit Cinderin, but that's pretty much it. So Ice Blast being probably, along with Wisp Bolt, the most stupid ult in the game, will recharge in like 3 seconds, and he'll have it again for the next push. So Cinderin has to go back. They're going to give up this tower. It's at less than half HP, and Cinderin has to go back and heal. So McDeath joins the fray with his newly acquired Desolator, and he last hits the tower like a champ. Meanwhile, he blinks in, and I think PGG managed to hit an arrow, so Nyx just blinked in, and with his Desolator and with PGG backup, they just destroy Rise. So really good play by PGG again, and Nyx showing that he doesn't give a shit about Eclipse. He'll just right-click the Luna to death. Luna's trying to do as much damage, but Enigma manages to get it. Pretty nice Black Hole, manages to get Clockwork and Cinderin, and basically everybody dies. And that was a team wipe. Only Gray died. Gray is PGG, but on 1 for 4 trade, and Midrax will surely fall at this point. Question mark? Sorry, you clicked before. So PGG, Nyx having 10 HP might go find a neutral and infest, but even then, not one person in the Sentinel has revived yet. And Scourge managed to take middle racks, and I don't really think there's enough Sentinel can do to overcome this. Their Necrolite has basically no farm. Luna managed to farm BKB, but Nyx is a pretty good anti-Luna hero. He'll rage through most of the Eclipse damage, and I think it was just really smart picking by PGG that won them the game, and also smart lane assignments by PGG as well, because he successfully predicted where the tri-lane would be, put the Windrunner against it, and totally destroyed the Necrolite. I'm sure they probably expected a Clockwork maybe against them, which would give Nyx a little bit more farm, but maybe not as many kills. So really good lane positioning by the Scourge, by Retry. Crystal Wave's doing some counter warding. Manages to pick off a couple Sentry wards and an Observer ward, and now the fate of Crystal Mains. This is probably the most excitement Crystal Main will get, attacking a Sentry ward and an Observer ward for a good 20 seconds. So next Roshan's up, so I'm sure Scourge will just rush and try to push and end this, because Retry, they know they pretty much have this. Look at Roshan go down to the Desolator, the Cold Feet, and the double damage. Poor Roshan. All he wants is to keep his shield. It's just a trophy. And when you get hit down by a ghoul and a elf on a cat, it's not a very befitting way for a giant stone golem to go out. So Rise is trying to farm up something. I think that's basically what he's trying to go for. So anything. Meanwhile, Angel goes down, and he won't be back for a good 50 seconds. So I think this is a cue for Scourge to go Rex this. Yep, they're just letting the Sentinel push their lane. Looks like PGG wants a little fun. PGG says, "Yo, man!" A little bit. I don't know if it's a little bit of trash talk. I think this Dare tournament, although it does have money, it's a little bit of has